Good deal. Welcome back to the Young and Hungry podcast. My name is James Sansone, here with my co-host Tyler Dusty and a special guest today, Nick Prisco. Welcome.
Welcome, man.
Thank you. What? I didn't know the name. I like the name a lot.
You like the name?
I love the name.
Young and hungry, bro. Young and hungry entrepreneurs, hungry for success, wealth, girls, whatever you're hungry for. We got it. We're here.
Right. I love it.
We got it all, man. We're young and hungry for success.
I love it.
So there's some crazy shit going on in the world right now.
Tell us about it, James.
Yes,
Tell
there
us.
is.
The banks are going. We're all going to have to switch to crypto and start trading apes and monkeys as pictures, as currency. I'm going to have to start paying for Chipotle bowls with pictures of NFTs. Is that what's going to happen?
So if you were to not use the bank, what would you do?
Crypto, obviously. I think.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know.
the best answer I have.
That's a sticky question, man, because who knows what's going to happen? I mean, a lot of people are using crypto, but I feel like there's going to be too many cryptocurrencies out there for you to really know what's reliable unless you go with like Bitcoin or Ethereum. But do you think tangible assets are going to be a thing as well? Gold, silver?
Dude, it's not liquid enough. What am I going to do? Chop a piece of a ruby off? What am I supposed to do?
I think the only the most solid place to have your money right now, I really think, is real estate. Even though the prediction is that the price is going to go down, I just think it's the hedge against inflation. It's the only way.
So, I agree. You always need a place to stay. Everyone's going to deal with real estate in their life at least once or twice.
Any realm of technology that we dive into, whether it's the metaverse or the Chichaverse or whatever the fuck we go into, you're always going to need a place to live. It's never going to go away. And the fact is that rents in America have increased every single year without a down year since World War II. Every single year.
Damn, is that right? I didn't know that.
Fact. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
But
so what are you talking about, the Silicon Valley Bank? Like what are you getting at? You think all the banks are going to fail?
There is 35 banks that have went down already in America.
So I kind of looked into this, and like if someone out there is watching this and I'm wrong, correct me, but apparently people were getting scared of the recession, so they would take all their money out of these smaller banks and they would just put them in a larger bank. So our our core banks, JP Morgan, our favorite, like Goldman Sachs, all of these massive banks, Bank of America, all these massive banks I think are going to be okay, but all these small ones are really, really struggling because everyone's just pulling their money out of them.
So, Nick, let me ask you this. The banks go tomorrow and they say, you can't store money with us anymore. Where do you put it?
Well, here's the thing. I think that the best, if you actually have a decent lump sum amount of money, more than like 500 grand, I think you should have it in two banks because you are insured in the bank up to 250,000, right? So let's say you had 750,000. If you put 250,000 in three banks, you would be insured theoretically. The FDIC would have to pay you back. So that is a way to insure your money.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So
and there's all these like broke people running around saying, what's going to happen to my money? It's like, bro, if you don't have more than 250, you will be insured.
Okay. Yeah.
So
no,
for the people out there that don't understand why or how a bank can fail, put it this way. We're going to make it really simple for you. Fractional reserve banking made simple. When you put $1 into the bank, when you give the bank $1, you are lending them your money so the bank can lend out your money.
9 times.
Yep, 9 to 10 times. Your
Yeah.
money is safe inside the bank, and in return, the bank is going to loan out your money and receive interest on that money. And your risk is that they might fucking run out.
Well, so that's what happened with SVB. They were receiving deposits and lending out, but they weren't being paid back fast enough from what they were lending out.
So how does this, because I was listening to the podcast of Ryan Pineda and Grant Cardone, and Cardone's like, dude, this is going to continue to happen. This isn't going to stop.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the way real estate is, like everything is so, like people are so over leveraged, it's pretty frightening. Like the FHA loan, like the 3% down type of thing is pretty weird when you think about it. Like you really shouldn't be able to buy a property for X amount when only putting down 3%. It's pretty, there's nothing else like that you can do that with.
Tyler, you know real estate better than me. How does that work?
What, the FHA loan?
Yeah.
So it's for first-time homeowners. And essentially what it is again, you just put like 3.5% down for a whole house, which when you do think about it is kind of weird because for a traditional like in investment property, you usually put like 20% down, which sounds a little bit more reasonable, but you're right, 3.5% definitely sounds strange. Not complaining about it because you can use it to your advantage.
Right. Yeah.
How do you make that deal when, if you're a banker and you make that deal and you're looking at the statistics of the country and saying less than 60% of the population has less than $1,000. How in the world can you justify lending a 25-year-old who has less than $1,000 in their bank account and then they inherit, let's just say 35 grand to buy freaking whatever house price that is at 3.5%? How do you justify that?
Tax returns is how they justify it. Like based on your income, but if you're spending all your income, what good is it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just really stupid with their money, bro. Really fucking stupid.
I mean, 35,000 with 3.5% down. Think about this. You ready? Can get you $1 million house. 3.5% down. 35
less.
grand. Think about it. 35.
Oh yes, you're right. Yes, but
35,000 can get you, divided by 0.035 is $1 million. That's freaking
Right.
ridiculous.
right. You would add another like 3% for closing costs, but yes, theoretically you are correct. Yeah.
So if somebody inherits $60,000 or $70,000, they can buy $1 million home.
If it's up to 4 units, yes.
That's
Dude,
wild.
closing costs would cost more than than the down payment.
Yeah. Right.
So let's get into this subject because I mean I want to hear Nick's opinion on this because he's a wealthy guy. He's making money. I'm making money. Tyler's making money. What the hell do you do with your living situation? Do you rent or do you own right now?
I rent, and I wouldn't have it any other way unless I was living in a place that I was also renting out. But I see in my situation where I need money to run the business, I don't see a reason to sink a bunch of my money into a home to just live in. That does not make me any money.
I agree with you 100%. There's no way I could justify putting down $50,000 into a home that's going to take more of my time, more of my money, and more of my energy.
Yeah.
Tyler?
I would rent 100% at this age too because I'm taking this through a different approach though. You want to go where the money's going. So if you put yourself in an environment, right? Or let's say Austin, Texas, and Miami were booming this year. Next year, what if it's another city, right? Now people are looking at Dubai. When you rent, you're able to move around. yes, you have a lease, but it's easier than selling your house and moving everything, right? When you're renting, you're able to go around the country a lot easier, or around the world a lot easier, and I think that makes it a lot more flexible for people, especially when they're young, to put them in a good position to succeed.
So let's go down the list. How much you paying right now in rent, Nick?
Like $3,500 a month.
$3,500.
Yep.
I'm paying 26. Tyler, how much are you gonna pay?
Mine's about like
2,000.
2,100. Yeah, two, cause I'll be in the same place as you, but you have a 2 bedroom.
Which brings me to my question later, Nick. Why the hell? And I'm getting to it now, by the way. Why the hell do you live in New Jersey?
Dude, you know what? So I almost moved to Florida. I almost moved to Fort Lauderdale. But I've seen that there is more important things than money. You know, my family's here, my girlfriend's
Got it.
family's here. I don't mind New Jersey. I don't know. Everybody hates it. I don't mind it. I don't like the cold weather. But
I was just in New Jersey, bro.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, bro, listen, I love the idea of no state income tax, you know, all that shit. But it's you know, there is certainly other things that come into play besides money.
And that family life, the family, the girlfriend, the future kids, the White House with the picket fence, is that dream starting to die right now? Unfortunately.
Dude, so okay, it's funny you say this. I was just at a diner and the host was telling me, man, I don't know how young kids are gonna like, not young kids, but like young kids, I guess, are gonna like live on their own and start their life. It's so expensive. They're not making enough, you know. Bro, I couldn't disagree more. There is a massive, the biggest opportunity to make the most amount of money right now. Like, yeah, if you have a typical job that doesn't pay that much, yes, it's gonna hurt. But there is so much opportunity. So I do not think the American dream is dying. I think it's changing.
I think so too. Tyler, what do you think?
I could agree with that. I think it's changing. I mean, when you think of the typical American dream when it first started off, you make 50 grand a year, your house probably costs 60 grand a year, and you don't really have too many expenses, right? But that's completely changed now. Inflation is rising, but salaries are stagnant, and it's hurting a lot of people. But again, there's so much opportunity here compared to other countries. I know Grigor and Milos will tell you that too, man. They're from Eastern Europe. They have almost no opportunity over there. So, U.S. is definitely the best place to make money.
Here's how I know it's changing. The American dream is buy a house with a white picket fence and send your kids to school and work a job 9 to 5 for the rest of your life and retire when you're 65. That's the American dream, right?
Right.
We all just voted. We're not going to buy a house. We're going to rent a house. So let's move on to the next question. Are we sending our kids to public school? Are you going to put them in this hellhole, the same system we all go against and that we all discredit?
So personally, maybe. And I do not think I would ever homeschool my kid though. That's the reason I say maybe. They would either go to private or public. I would not homeschool them. I think they need to get bullied. They need to get in fights.
1,000%.
Play on the fucking, sorry, I don't know if you curse on here, but
yeah,
they need to play on the playground. Okay. Yeah, I think they need to scrape their knee a little bit, you know?
100%. Don't send them to private school if you want to get them to. Did you go to private school, Nick?
No.
I went to private school. I know Tyler went to private school too. There's pussies there.
Well, I went for 1 year. I was in the public school system up until my junior year of high school. And you just have so much experience when you go through the public school. Like, dude, you get bullied, right? For stupid shit. Rumors go around. You learn how to deal with people. You meet all types of different people, right? You learn how to talk to people from all over, depending from where you're from. If you're from like a small town or a big town, but we had all types of characters, man. In public school, we had all types of characters.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to a private school. $42,000 a year.
Ooh, what the?
From
Where did
eighth
you go,
grade,
bro? Where did you go?
from eighth grade to senior year, I did $42,000 a year, high school. Isn't that ridiculous?
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Never
Okay, what
got
is that? What is that? Hold on. How much money is that?
42 times 6. 42 times 6.
It's like 250 grand. It's like 250 grand.
250 grand to go to high school.
Don't you wish your parents gave you 250 grand instead of sending you to that shitty private school?
Dude, it's the private school, you know what? I have to argue this one. The private school was a better investment than college was because it gave me more connections to better people. Dude,
I could see that. I could see that.
my high school football coach was Joe Flacco's agent. This guy that was the assistant coach of our team owned this unbelievable pawn shop. Dude, he used to hang out with 50 Cent. He used to bring 50 Cent to the practices. And then one day, John Bon Jovi showed up because one of the competitor teams that we were playing, his son was on the team.
Wow.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, so maybe it was good then. Maybe it was good.
I would argue that sending your kids to a private high school would be better than sending them to college. That was my college.
I could get behind that. Did you go to college?
I went to college for 2 years and dropped out. I went to, did you go to college?
Yeah, I got banned from my first college and then went to
How'd you get
community college.
banned?
I used to have a crazy drug problem and I was just constantly getting arrested and all this stuff happened and I left there and I felt like such a loser. And I remember the vice president told me you will never be able to join another 4-year school again. And that was I made that like my mission to do that, right? And I did it and graduated. I don't even use the degree now. Like it was so, I made this my mission. I wish I made right now my mission, but it's okay. But yeah,
that's unbelievable, man. How did you overcome that?
Well, I went away to rehab. That helped. I still do some like 12-step programs. It's been 5 years now. No drugs, no alcohol. But it was tough, man. It was tough. I had to completely change everything, my entire life. And it was the best decision I ever made.
That's wild. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
5
you.
years. Holy shit.
You really did a 180.
Oh, dude. I wish you could have seen, like, I was 130 pounds, bro, when, like, yeah. I'm, like, 6'1", 130 pounds. I was banged up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How did you get into that, if you don't mind me asking?
Wrong people at the wrong time. Just got introduced to it and liked it. And I said, like, once I did it, I was like, wow, this feels so great. Why wouldn't I do this every day? And I have that very, like, extreme, like, if I like something, I'm doing it, to the fullest. And I did that. And, but now I do it with business and other things, so it's good.
It's the obsessive personality.
Yeah. And I
have the same thing. I
got it, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
So how'd you switch from that sort of lifestyle to the business that you're in now?
The way I got out of it, I went to rehab. I did some I do some 12-step program stuff, but I really saw the people that I was using with. And then, after I got clean, I looked at the people that I was using drugs with and said, I do not want to be like these people. And I was one of those people, right? And I was a loser. And I saw other people doing things that I wanted to do, right? And everyone always says, like, don't compare yourself to people on social media. Bro, I saw people on social media that I wanted to be like, that really helped me and gave me some direction, because I didn't have much besides that. And so I totally subscribe to, you might need to compare yourself to people on social media.
Dude, exactly. That's how it starts. It doesn't come from nowhere. You see somebody else, you're inspired by them, just like you were as a kid with superheroes or athletes or whatever it is, and then you find the qualities and the things that make them successful and match that.
Dude, we've talked about this in so many podcasts. You are who you surround yourself with.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's the wake-up call for me was honestly meeting Riley Joe. I was a dickhead before I met Riley Joe. And then I meet her and she's like, I want castles. I want like a resort in Hawaii. I'm like, what?
Wait, is that your girl?
Yeah. Her name's Riley Joe.
Okay.
And I'm like, shit. I'm doing the math. I'm a calculated guy, like really calculated. I don't do anything without doing fucking math. Not like math equations, just addition, subtraction.
Yeah. Right.
But I'm doing the math. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm gonna need like a couple billion for this. And that's how I got started. I was like, shit, better get moving.
Yeah. And my big thing too was like, if you actually talk about the spending money part, was I refused to think about the money I spent. Like I don't even want to think about it. So I better make enough to not do that, So that's like a big motivator for me.
So how do you get, and this is what I've kind of found, because I last month hit my first 25K month. First time.
Congratulations.
I know you're ahead of me, Nick. I'm going to catch you.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to catch you. But I just hit it last month. How do you get motivated past 30,000 or 10,000 or whatever a comfortable number is for somebody? What is the next motivation?
Well, so it comes past money for me. I have found that, growing the team and growing the actual company is also fulfilling and addicting. But also, your appetite grows personally. You want to buy more shit, you want a nicer car, you want a better place to live. It's all that shit. So it's really, I don't feel like it's ever really enough. I definitely make enough money where I'm like, okay, but it's never, okay, I'm good here. It's almost like happiness. Like no one will ever say, oh, I'm happy enough. I don't want to be any more happy. You'll never hear anyone say, I'm rich enough. I don't want to be any more rich.
100%. Tyler, what do you think it is? How do you get motivated past 10K? Because you really, they did a study. I heard Jordan Peterson talk about this. After $60,000 a year, your life does not physically improve any better.
I mean, for me, it's more, for me, man, everything I'm kind of doing is to help people, man. Like my future family, for example, or I want to start a few charities and a few organizations that help young entrepreneurs, things like that. And you can't do any of that without money. So the more money I have, the more people I'll be able to help, and the better I'll be able to live. So for me, it's more of a legacy or like a fingerprint that you leave on the world when you're gone. Because I want to have my last name remembered. That's kind of what's motivating me most of all.
I had a kind of different experience. I was at that 10K mark and I was stuck for like maybe a month and a half, and I hired my first full-time employee, and I'm sitting there like, I'm responsible for somebody's salary right now, their income. And that kind of shocked me. And I'm looking at all my friends around me. I'm like, how many of my friends right now are making $2,200 a month, $2,500 a month? That's a sin. I should be able to hire them and give them a better life. Because anybody making $2,200 a month, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like,
well, dude. That's why when you said that your life doesn't change after 60 grand, bro, your life hasn't begun at 60 grand. Like you can't you still have to worry about money. I think once you're past the point of worrying about money, then you could somewhat make the argument that your life doesn't change. But I bet you somebody that's making 300 grand a month has a lot different of a life than I do. You know what I mean? That I make less than 300 grand a month, way less.
Dude, like, I would say Brad Lee says life begins at 20 grand a month. I would say life begins at about 10. You can make 10 grand a month. You can do some stuff.
Yeah. I feel like you still have to think about spending money though at that point.
You do. But it's not like at 10K a month, you're not thinking about little things. You're not thinking about gas. You're not thinking about like meals. You're not thinking about, I mean, you're thinking about your car payment, you're thinking about your rent, you're thinking about your mortgage, but the little stuff starts to go away.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think, Tyler?
I agree, man, 100%. I think a lot of people put a ceiling on their dreams and their goals, and they don't understand what life could be like with more money, so they convince themselves that they're content with the life that they're living, if that makes sense.
Here's what I think it is with people that say they can't, I'll never make $20,000 a month. That's ridiculous. What are you even talking about?
Yeah, they put a ceiling. They put a ceiling on themselves.
Somebody said to them when they were growing up or when they were in school or whatever it was, oh, you can never make $20,000 a month. And anybody that does is not happy. It's the smartest thing rich people have ever done in their whole life is tell other people that money doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
It's such a scam.
Do you think it makes you happy? Do you think money makes you happy?
No. Do you?
No. But I do think it's hard to be happy without money though. I don't think money makes you happy, but it is very difficult to be happy without money.
Let me tell you this though. Let me just put it on the other side. I wouldn't be happy if I couldn't support my family and couldn't protect other people and couldn't pay for meals that
That's what
I go to my friends with. I wouldn't be happy about that. So in theory, it's like the chicken or the egg. You know?
Yeah.
Tyler, what do you think?
No, that's true. I think, listen, money itself, the physical object, it that doesn't make you happy. But what it allows you to do whatever you want, right? So for me at least, how I look at it is the first step is money. The second step is pursuing your passion. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm in between like a few different lifestyles. Like a part of me wants to be a fucking cowboy. Part of me wants to be in the city. Part of me wants to be by the beach. But if I have money, I can do all three. You know what I mean? You can support your family. There's a lot you can do with money rather than putting some shit together to just pay rent. You know what I mean? I feel like that's stressful.
100%. So let's shift gears for a minute because me and Nick were chatting up a little bit before the podcast and we disagreed on something.
Yes.
And you're going to be shocked at this one. You ready? Should you involve your significant other in your business?
Personally, I like to keep it 100% separate. So I like to have the business and that life, and then my escape is hanging out with my girlfriend and friends and family and doing those things. I don't like mixing the two. Also, the whole goal is, for me, is to have my girlfriend not have to think about any of that shit. You know, like eventually that would be the goal, to that just not be a thought in her mind, you know? So if she's involved, obviously she has to think about it. That's why I do not do that.
So you rather not involve your partner?
Correct.
I know where you come from, James, and I can see both of your sides. I personally, I don't think I would. I really don't think I would. Because again, like you said, Nick, you have a bunch of different lives, right? You have your personal life, you have your life with your girlfriend or significant other, you have a life with your friends, you have a life with your business. Like, when you mix all of it, what happens if you all get divorced? What happens if you guys break up? And she's so intertwined with
That's
your
huge.
business that you started, now she takes half. So for me, it's like, okay, I do believe in true love, and I do want a monogamous relationship with one person for the rest of my life. But dude, divorce rates are what? What are they at? 70% now, dude?
This is where I want to take over. You ready?
Okay.
Divorce rates are at 60%. They did a study, right? What do you think the divorce rate is for couples who start a company together?
Ooh, what
I
is
saw
it?
this statistic and it changed my whole life because I had the exact same point of view as you did. And I had the exact same point of view as Tyler did until I saw this stat.
What is it?
What is it?
6%.
Wow. Now, do you think that is because the business is keeping them together rather than like the love that they have for each
Then
other?
the love, yeah. How many of those people live in the same house, too?
Married couples who start a business together, when they're married, 6% divorce rate. Let me tell you why. When the couple gets together to start a business, two things will happen. They will succeed in doing it, or they will break up in the process. Starting a business is harder than having a baby. It's harder than raising a family. It's harder than managing a household income. It's harder than anything you will do in your life. Starting a business together is the ultimate challenge. There is nobody left after you start a business. It's either you succeed or you split up. There's no in between.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I can see where you're coming from, but for me, I just don't want. I don't know. That's just my separate life. Like you need something to talk about. If you guys are in the same room every single day, I feel like it's. I don't know. But again, I'm not married, so I can't really speak on that.
I also don't want to put that stress on her. Like, bro, it is. This is not fun a lot of the times. It is not. And I wouldn't want to do that to her. Running a business is not always fun, and I would like for my girlfriend to just enjoy the fruits of the labor and not have to deal with the shitty parts of running a company.
See, Nick, I agree with that because me and James have talked about this. And dude, this is probably going to get so much hate. I want a stay-at-home wife, but there are so many girls who want to be stay-at-home moms, right? And I just don't want them to be stressed when I come home. I'd rather take on all the stress. I'd rather take on all the responsibility so that they can live a better life.
Agreed. I just think it's fun.
James wants to put his girl through the fire, baby. He wants to put her through the fire.
That's so funny. No, she loves the taxes. But speaking of taxes, what is tax season is coming up? Tax season is coming up.
Yeah.
What is the number one tax deduction? Your favorite tax deduction?
Like just my opinion?
Your favorite one, your personal favorite.
I mean, this is technically meals. Meals is one I like. I write off a portion of my car, a portion of my rent. I write off my Roth IRA. What else? That's pretty much it, I feel like.
My favorite would be food too, man. I love to eat. James, we love to cook. We love to cook. Nick, if there's something about me and James, dude, you put a steak in front of us, and you'll just the feeling cannot be described. But Nick, let me tell you the feeling when you eat our food, right? We call it getting flavor fucked. Food is my favorite thing on planet Earth, which is why I go to the gym so I can eat and whatever I want.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Dude, Nick, have you ever gone to a restaurant and just ordered everything on the menu?
No, probably not everything on the menu, no.
It's so much fun.
I visited James in Florida. This was 3 months ago, and we go to this Italian restaurant. There's 5 apps, and I think 8 entrees for 3 people.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Dude, if you
we
just get
we
a
didn't
bunch of
finish
guys
half
together,
of it, bro.
if you just get a bunch of guys together and order everything on the menu, it's awesome.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
my favorite deduction is when I pay my holding company a management fee for running my business.
Okay. But do you have to pay income tax on that payment?
Nope. It's an S
Why?
corp. It's an LLC tax as an S corp.
So what though?
I get rid of the 15.3% income tax.
Yeah, right. I'm an S corp. Yeah. Yeah. I pay myself though.
Yeah, no. You got to have an LLC. So you have your LLC here, and then you have your holding company that is an LLC set up as an S corp. So your business here is an LLC that pays the LLC tax as an S corp, and then you don't get the 15.3. Never take money out of your business. It just you get taxed on it either way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I pay myself a fair wage, and then only pay the higher tax on that, and then the business gets a lower tax because it's not personal income.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you have this here, right? You have your LLC up here, taxes and S corp. Your LLC here. This LLC makes $10K a month, right? Or in the year. You're going to get taxed $1,500, right? But you owe a $1,500 management fee to this company here, which is you. Here's Nick. You pay that company $1,500 and you don't have to pay tax on that $1,500.
Why doesn't that company that gets paid $1,500 have to pay?
Because it's taxed as an S corp, and any transfer between businesses is a tax deduction.
Ah.
You see what I mean?
Shit.
So you're paying yourself
So it's
as
not
a
income.
subcontractor. Yes, it's not income. You're paying yourself as a subcontractor as a management fee to run the company. Interesting,
Shit.
right?
But won't your company that's a management fee that gets the income, won't that be taxed?
No,
That's what I
because
was
it's
saying.
you. It's you. It's an S corp. S corps there's no tax for S corp.
Oh, true.
You skip out on the 15.3%. You see what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Loophole.
Bro, I don't know if that's correct.
It's correct. Take a look.
I'm an S corp. What, you get taxed.
Yeah, but you're going from the wrong place. So your LLC, right? You have one LLC set up.
Yeah.
I have 3. So one is my holding company, Sandstone Enterprises. I have Next Gen Connect that makes the money. The Next Gen Connect business makes, let's just say to make the math easy, $10,000, right? That $10,000 is going to get taxed at 15.3%. So there's going to be a $1,500 tax on that business, right? My Sandstone Enterprises is managing the company. I owe Sandstone Enterprises 15.3% as a management fee. I pay that company a consulting fee or a management fee for running the business. That tax is deducted off my taxable income from Next Gen Connect and then goes to my LLC tax as an S corp, which is nothing.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I do it now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you're right, I got to do it. But if you're saying you're just paying this $1,500 fee, then your company is just making $8,500 instead of $10,000, and then you have to.
You're gonna pay it anyway.
Tax on 85.
No. You go take other tax deductions out. Say if you're at the end of the year, right, and you're $1,500. You're $1,500 short. from taxes. You pay your company a $1,500 management fee as your salary. You never want to take the salary out of your company. When you do that, you'll get taxed 15.3%.
Right. Okay. All right.
You see what I mean? Look it up. I'm telling you. I'll send you a video on it after this.
Okay.
It's
send
crazy.
It to me. Send it to me. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. You ready? This is a really interesting one. Is it possible? And you guys both work with businesses for social media. So this is a business question. Is it possible for social media companies or a business to have a strong social media presence without a creator or a face?
100%. Is it harder? Yes. But it depends. So, like, for example, there's a coffee place that has 150,000 followers on TikTok. Nitro Bar, James. You know Nitro Bar.
Yep, Nitro Bar.
They don't have a face. They just record the workers sometimes. But they make, like, creative videos of coffee. That's it. But there's no face.
I would say that
I mean, like, what industry are you talking about?
Literally any industry. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. The only one I can think of is Disney. But, I mean, their face is Mickey Mouse. That's the face.
All right, what about food? What if you just post a video of you making food, but you don't even show your face?
But it's still you. You're the creator, though. There's still a creator to it. Like, take a company like Apple, for example. They don't have a strong social media presence.
They have a strong
I think
presence.
I'm getting confused by your question. Are you saying like a face that you remember and that you know? Because there's a creator for all media. Like someone's editing it, someone's video recording it. Like there's someone creating the content, but are you talking about specifically just a face that you remember?
Nick, maybe you can describe it better.
Your question is, can you succeed on social media as a business without a face, without a creator, or just a face to tie the brand to? And I would say it is very, very hard. The only way you would do it is through an AI type of video, an animated type of video, or just text. And text would be very, very hard. So
I could agree with that. I think it's possible. It's just gonna be hard. You're gonna be making it a lot harder on yourself if you do that.
I don't think there is any way that you can possibly grow on social media without a face. People just will not engage with.
I could show you so many food accounts that just post food and there's no face. All you see are hands and they have millions of followers.
Dude.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Like, I can pull out 1 billion of those. I can pull out a bunch of these DIY things. There's so many TikToks I see with millions of followers that you don't even see the face.
I'm talking about a business, though. Like,
okay. Oh, that's what I meant. Okay, that's what I was. Okay, business. No. Business, I would say no. You need a personality. You need to be trusted. If you're a business, you have to be trusted. You need a face.
The reason Tesla is their stock is way overvaluated is Elon, dude. Imagine if he stepped down tomorrow. You think that would have an influence over their stock price?
Yeah, no.
Look what happened to fucking Twitter. We're moving into social media. How in the world do you crack the code and get millions of views, Nick? Explain it to me. What is the algorithm? Tell me the secret.
You can't look at it as posting a regular conversation. You have to look at it as, I only want to give them the most valuable pieces and leave out the garbage. The ums, the buts, the ahs, the likes, all of that has to be left out. And it just has to be as concise as possible. Personally, that's what I found. And I also think you need to be talking about something that can either cause people to disagree or agree or share or save. Because, dude, like when I post, I can tell what is going to go viral. I know it every single time.
You can?
Almost every single time. Almost every single time. Yeah.
I have no
Yeah.
idea. I can never tell.
Oh, I can always tell.
The two that have gotten over 400,000, I had no idea.
I have a video on my TikTok that has 7 million views, and I could show you the raw footage. After I said it, I said that is going to go viral, and it has 7 million views.
My most viewed video ever on TikTok, dude, 70 million views, right? It's of my
Damn.
fucking dog. It's
Wow.
of my fucking dog, bro. It's
Yeah,
of my
send it to
dog.
me.
Dude, you know the trend where you cut your sock into like a ski mask and then you put it on your dog? Dude, this was like 3 years ago, bro. This was like 3 years ago. I'll send this to you. We'll exchange information after. I'll send it to you. It's hilarious, dude.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, I posted that, and I hadn't even really been like, I just started kind of like getting into posting like a little bit. This is 3 years ago. I was like 16, bro, 17. And I post this video. I go to the gym and I come back and it's at 2 million views and my phone's blowing up. Everybody's like, yo, you see your video? Yo, you see your video? Yo, you see? I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Oh, 2 million. That's pretty cool. Go to bed, wake up, 40 million views. I'm like, holy shit.
Wow.
Tana Mojo's commenting on it, bro. Like all these crazy people. And then you start to get weird DMs. You start to get really weird DMs when shit blows up like that. I'm sure you know. When that stuff blows up, you get weird ass DMs.
I gotta know this, Nick. What is the weirdest DM you've ever gotten? Because I got a weird one yesterday.
Bro, I just had. So I have people, I have some stuff about like relationships on there. People will pour their heart out to me in the DMs about their girlfriend that's cheating on them or whatever it is. But I just had someone get on a sales call with me and they said that they were trying to lose weight. I have an advertising agency. I don't help people lose weight. I don't know how to help people lose weight. And it was such a bizarre encounter, but yeah. It's really just people trying to get a job from me or relationship advice. That's usually one of the two.
I got one yesterday that was, can you be my dad?
That's a good one. What was your response?
I was like, I don't really know what that means. I don't know if you're referring to a mentor or something like that, but I'm not sure how to.
I think
help
they
you
were
with that.
referring to daddy in a sexual sense.
I don't know what it was, but it was strange. But I mean, so tell me more about the key qualities. Like besides editing, tell me more about the value of the post, of the content.
Wait, before I tell you that, I just want to say this. I have all these people in my DMs saying I will work for you for free. I don't want free. It has no value to me. The results is what I want. So whether it costs money or it's free, if you have the results, I don't care what it is. But you working for free is not appealing to me at all. So please, everyone, stop sending me that message. But sorry, your question
No, I agree.
was...
I agree with
Yeah.
you. Let me just touch on that point for 1 second because I made this
Sure.
mistake too. The affiliates. Do you ever take on affiliates?
No.
I took on an affiliate previously and I made a big mistake. I said, "Oh yeah, let's start for free." They have to have an entry point. The affiliate has got to have an entry point and skin in the game. So if you don't charge to be an affiliate in your business, then they're just not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? But just wanted to get that out for a second because I made that mistake. Big time. Go ahead, Nick.
I've worked for people for free. Like when I first started my agency, I did one free month of service and it was stupid. They don't value it. I don't value it. You can't get them to fill out onboarding forms, do what they have to do because they didn't pay for it. They don't value it. So working for free, in my experience, has not been helpful at all.
Interesting. That's an interesting point. Tyler, what do you think? Have you ever worked for free?
I mean, I guess it depends what stage in your career you are. you're in, and it depends what your goal is, man. Like for me, a big thing in what I know best is networking, and I'll work for free just to get into the same room as somebody I want to meet. You know what I mean? But again, it all depends what your goal is. I don't think that. I mean, maybe if you want to get testimonials, you could work. You could do some stuff for free. But again, I just think it's a waste of. I kind of agree with you, Nick. It's kind of a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah.
Unless you could really prove that you have some sort of value and you want to give them a taste of what you can do. But it depends what your service is.
So providing value, getting the value either from buying a service or giving value to somebody for free, paid. How does that look in today's world? Because it's so oversaturated, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, everybody seems like they're saying the same thing. How do you stand out?
Results. Especially on Twitter, it drives me nuts on Twitter. Everyone is handing out all these free tips and like advice. And it's like, bro, I don't want your advice. I want your experience, right? So if you're going to tell me something, you better have done it. And if not, you should save your breath. To actually provide value, so there's a saying that movement is not progress, right? So just because you're moving doesn't mean you're going somewhere. So if you come to me and edit my videos for free, or you come to me and, let's just use that one. You come to me and edit my videos for free. You could end up hurting me. Like you could end up hurting my engagement and hurting my brand, right? So free means nothing. The results have to be there.
100%. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. That's kind of like the close.
Movement isn't progress. That's good.
I love that. I got this close for you. Ready, Nick?
Yeah.
I heard Cardone say this last week, and I'm stealing it. Let's just get started now and worry about the money later when you have it.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, damn, that's good. But
yeah.
Oh my God. So what would you give somebody? What tips would you give somebody, Tyler, to provide value in their short form content? How do you stand out?
For short form content?
Social media marketing industry. How do you stand out as a content creator?
I think a lot of it comes in so let me first ask Nick a question, and then I'll kind of jump onto that. What type of agency are you? So are you like what do you do? What can you describe your services? Are you just like a typical like you just make ads for people or?
Yeah, so a few different things. We are a creative agency, which means yes, we make ads for people. We also scale their brands organically through TikTok. We do a lot of consulting on the paid ad side with our creatives. So when we make ads for a brand, we will change up the ads according to the data that they get from running their ads. So we really try to provide more value than someone that is just making ads and handing it off to them and running to the next person. And we also do B2B lead generation. So adwhile, the agency, is very good at getting clients. If another business needs clients that is selling something expensive that we can split revenue on, we will also take them on as a client and do that service for them. So we do a few different things.
So would you say the success for your marketing agency has been having a range of different services essentially?
No, I started out as providing UGC ads for people and managing their TikTok accounts and growing their brands that way. And then kind of moved into different services. I definitely think it's good to master one thing first instead of trying all these different things.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, so for me, my targeted audience specifically it's 40 to 50 to 60-year-olds who have their business. They're pretty much established, but they have no social media presence, nor do they even know how to work social media. So a lot of what we have to do, and typically you see this, right? Somebody may have a niche in their business, um, and not everybody in that niche knows how to market. So they either know the niche or they hire someone who knows how to market, but the person who market doesn't really know that niche. So what we do is we'll offer services to teach someone who knows that niche how to market effectively on social media, and through almost like a course. And the second service is more hands-on. We'll get a team of 3 people, right? So you have the videographer that'll be sent to you locally. You have the editor, right, who will edit all the videos. And then you have the actual, I guess you could say, personality, who would sort of be not the face of your business, but help you brand it and help you stay up to date with trends and viral content. And pretty much that's the business's way of taking the hands-off approach. We completely would take care of the marketing for them on that platform. So that's I mean, I think it's a little different depending on what type of marketing you get into, but our target audience is mostly people who don't understand marketing through social media at all, who have no clue where to start.
You should go to the fitness industry.
Yeah, I mean, for example, we're working with that. I don't want to disclose them on the podcast right now. We're still kind of talking about it, but there's this professional fight promotion, and we're working with them. They have been struggling to find sort of like their brand doesn't really have a personality. You know what I mean? Like they're struggling to find ways to make their brand interesting and up to date. But they, through word of mouth and just years of being in the industry, have grown to be they're pretty much right under the UFC. But again, the owner is in his 60s and he has no clue how to work social media, and he's too busy to really understand it at all or put the time into understand it, and he just has to delegate that work, you know? And that's where we come in. I mean, Nick, you're definitely doing a lot better than me. I'm still in the beginning processes of really starting to scale. You have any advice, man?
Where are you at? You don't need to say numbers, but like, do you have a set of clients that are doing well?
We're actually in the testing. We're in the testing stages. So I'm working with a few clients right now, and we're in the testing stages to see kind of like what works and where we want this business to go. I've probably been working on this for about like 3 or 4 months now, so I'm really like putting my feet into the game. But I can only speak on what I've done personally to market myself and my branding, and I've gained a pretty good following. But I can also speak on a few of our clients where we really help them figure out who they are first and what their brand is.
Sure. I would say it's, to me, where it sounds like where you're at, the advice I would give you is to get amazing results for these clients, hound them for testimonial videos.
Yeah.
Show the results to prospects and give some type of guarantee. And in that guarantee, make it as risk-free as possible for them. That is what I have found has made it the easiest to get clients. For instance, our lead generation that we do for clients, it's a startup fee, and then if we don't make you your startup fee back in 3 months, we give you your money back. Like, we are not interested in working with you. If we can't help you, we'll just give the money back to you. That is a pretty hard offer to say no to, right? Yeah. So it's really all about the offer and then the execution on what you're doing. And then hiring. Sorry, hold on. And then hiring. Once you start hiring people, you will see that there is way more things that go into it than just paying them fairly and being nice to them, right? You have to do those two. You have to be nice to them and you have to pay them fairly. But there is a ton of other things that human beings want where they work, right? Because not everyone is the entrepreneur and wants to work all day, right? So you have to, you know, like, there's a ton of people out here saying, man, my employees just don't work like I do. Well, it's like, yeah, no shit. Why would they? You know? And so if you can put yourself in the shoes of the employee, your business will run a lot smoother.
Yeah, man. Wait, Nick, how old are you?
24.
Oh shit. Yeah. So I'm 19, man. I turned 20 in May.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a youngin.
yeah.
Nick's got me.
Yeah. Right.
Are you?
Um.
How old are you, James?
23.
Oh, okay.
I just turned 23.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just turned 24.
I met him last year at school. Actually, we met at the same college before he dropped
Oh,
out.
cool,
The
cool.
So what are some common mistakes? Like what can you point out that some of these companies make mistakes on?
Agencies or our clients?
Your clients, like what do you go in there and say? Here's what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, a lot of the times they are putting out content that they want to see. They're
Yeah,
not putting out content that their customer or their audience wants to see.
yep,
Um, so it's a lot of times they just need another eye. And I always say to clients, we do not possess some magic knowledge or trick or key to social media. We make good content and we post it often, and we do some pretty great consulting. Other than that, if you have the capacity to make great content and post it consistently, you don't need us. Like I don't
100%.
pretend to be this guru.
I was just in Indiana last week. I was consulting with this gym in Indiana. They have 4 gyms there. And I told them this. I said, "Look, here are the 5 keys to creating content on social media. Stop promoting." The first thing I told them was stop promoting. Start creating content. Here are the 5 keys: authenticity, value, consistency across all posts, frequency, and then a reason to watch your next post.
Love that. I love the last one. That's the
They,
hardest part, I think. The last one.
Dude, yeah, and I think, and I started to realize this too, and I want to see if you guys can attest to this. A lot of people focus on their following, which you should do in your niche, right? But when you go on, for example, Instagram Reels and you look at insights, you can see how many people you reached that were non-followers and how many people you reached that were followers. You want to, in order to build your following, constantly reach new people. So all the videos that you have that perform really well and they get sent out to the most new people, those are the types of videos you want to recreate. So when me and James, we got to the pen and paper and we started to think, shit, how do we get these videos viral? We were looking at the videos that we would post and would reach a lot of new people. For example, we realized stories for us. All the videos we have that have done extremely well were mostly stories, and they were based off of life experiences, and I feel like those brought a lot of value too. But I feel like
that's
a
Nick's
key
best
component,
video.
yeah, a key component is reaching those new people.
I
Yeah,
mean,
totally.
Nick, how do you get somebody to engage with your content further than that video that they're watching? How do you get them to swipe on your profile?
The goal is to offer value past what you are selling or offering, right? So, you know, if you're selling a course or whatever it is, there has to be other value that is free for that person to follow, right? Because if they wanted to buy your shit, they would go and buy your shit. There needs to be more convincing, right? So if you're constantly offering value that pertains to them, that is the answer to how to get them to stay and watch other things.
Interesting. And I mean, that's so hard for some people because you have to identify what your customers' pain points are, what your viewers' pain points are, and how the literal steps of how they get from where they are now, overcoming their pain point, and to where they want to be ultimately. And I felt that building the gap between the two of where they want to be and where they are now and the steps in between has worked best for me. Like that's how I've started to structure my content, and that's where I've seen the growth.
Yeah, and I'm in a little bit of a unique situation. Like You can see on my TikTok account, it says, I own a cool company. I'm not selling you anything. So I'm literally just putting my thoughts out there. I just run my mouth, right? And whoever likes it stays, right? I'm literally not selling them anything. The reason I'm doing it is to eventually, hopefully, somewhat be able to help this following that I put together. Also, I am starting on YouTube and would love to start getting paid by YouTube. That'd be great. Brand deals and connections. I think if you have a following, the connections that you can make are on a whole nother level than the person that does not have a following or does not have an insane amount of money. The connections are just not there.
100%. The route I'm going right now is I'm trying to show people, and I'm sure you know this, Nick, that whatever venture that you're pursuing, whatever venture that you are going to take, if it's business, if it's relationship, if it's marketing, whatever it is, you're going to need to know one thing. Because for your business to work, you have to learn how to make a sale. If you don't know how to sell, you can't make a business work. There's only one reason businesses fail, and it's lack of sales. That's it. There's no other reason.
So James, let me ask you this. Do you think marketing or sales is more important for a business?
I was going to ask the exact same question.
What do you mean by marketing? That's I hear this all the time, and people just jump to say marketing. What do you mean by marketing?
Promoting. Driving traffic too. Do you think driving a large amount of traffic is more important than having a good person dealing with that traffic?
I mean, if I have to pick one of the two, I would pick marketing for the simple reason of I'm going to take a bet that people will be interested before they buy, and I call that taking an order. So I would say that the amount of people that will come will be already interested in buying, opposed to having 100% of nothing as a salesperson. If you don't have marketing, you don't have sales.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, who are you gonna sell to if no one's there? You know.
If I had to pick one of the two,
do you sell cold?
Do I sell cold?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
Me either.
The only reason I don't sell cold, and I stopped doing this, and I used to believe in it, and the reason I don't believe in it anymore is I think that there are easier routes to take between getting somebody to be interested in your business rather than calling someone who doesn't want help and trying to sell peanuts to a kid with peanut allergies.
Yeah.
I think there's an easier way to do it, and I'd rather keep the dignity and integrity of my brand than go out there and try to convince somebody to listen to me. Breaks my number one rule of business: never act out of desperation.
Love it.
I don't want to do that.
I mean, didn't Apple's new app update didn't it make it so if you were cold calling, it just comes up as like potential scam or like spam risk or something like that? I think that's really hurt the cold calling game. I know a lot of realtors have seen problems with that.
And just in my business, I'm not saying this is for every business, but if you want to sell sales training, you have to convince someone that they're doing something wrong in their business now. It's very hard to do on a cold call.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only place for a cold call is to set up the call, like the next call, you know?
Yep. 100%. The challenge with calling business owners to ask them if they want sales training, and it's not even a cold call for me. Like, some of these business owners I know, they need to be in a place where they genuinely want to make a change. I can't just go in there and say, hey guys, like, you need sales training. That's doing it the wrong way. And honestly, the reason I stopped it was I want to keep the brand. I don't want to do that. It's not worth my time to do that. There's other places where I can go. I can get referrals. I can get leads from social media. I don't want to be the guy that's calling your company telling you need sales training. It's just not something I need to do. I'm not against it, but I don't need to do it. You know what I mean?
Yo,
You
I have
disagree?
something. No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, not at all. But I do have something that I've been doing and is working. So when I get on a sales call with someone, I subtly put in there the what doesn't work for a client. So like I will say something along the lines of, oh, it's good you're not doing this because then we couldn't help you. Or I ask them, are you doing this? Because then we can't help you. And it's a question that I know that they're going to say, oh no, we need that. You know what I mean? So if you say these are the people we can't help, and make sure it's not them, right? I have found that helps.
100%.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. The biggest challenge for me with business owners is that there's a difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur. Some business owners say, I want everything in my business to be a certain way and I want to run my business. And then there are entrepreneurs who say, I want to be free and I don't want to be the one operating my business. And I want to bring in as much help as I can to take away time that I have to spend in the business. And I'm sure you guys are the same way.
Yeah, I agree. Just delegating work to other people. Because I feel like it gets to a point where you just come up with the ideas and everybody else makes it happen. Does that make sense? Like you start off in this mode where you just hustle for every dollar you can get, but then you get to a point where you just pay other people to do that hustle work and you're just coming up with the ideas and solving some problems.
And here's why that happens. The reason you pay other people to do it is not because you're so great and you don't do that anymore, like you're too good for that. Your time naturally becomes more expensive, right?
Yeah.
And your time could be used for way more valuable things. I saw this thing. You guys have Costco where you are?
Yeah.
So do you know Costco gas is like notoriously cheaper, but there's always an insane line, right? So people are waiting like 20 minutes in this line to save like a couple dollars. It's literally a few dollars. They are valuing their time. If you were to like do the math, that their time is worth like $2 an hour. Like go somewhere, pay a little more for the gas, and go do something else with your life. Even if you're not going to go make money, go enjoy life rather than sitting in the line.
Dude, I can completely relate to this. So there's this gas station like 5 minutes from my house, and they're always like 50 cents lower than any other gas station in the state. The line is in the highway, right? But then you'll go to another place right next to it that's 20 cents more, and you'll just hop right in. It makes absolutely no sense. People will bust their ass for an extra 20 cents, but then they'll buy stupid shit. Then they'll pay an extra like $50 on this or $50 on that, but they wasted all of their time so they could save 50 cents per gallon. Makes no sense.
Let me ask you this. Why do most people say I need to cut down on my expenses instead of saying I need to go make more money?
I think it's a mindset, dude. So a lot of people, the way they justify shit might not make sense it doesn't make sense to me, right? Probably not to you guys either, but think about it this way, right? People will justify a $150 dinner, but they won't justify getting healthy food from the grocery store to cook for like a week and work on like their physical health, right? Or they'll justify $1,000 trip, but they won't justify $1,000 course to help educate them on a specific skill or something like that. I just think that the way people justify their money spending has a massive impact on where they go.
What do you think, Nick?
Well, there's a few reasons. And one of them, the reason that some people will do that is because they are on a fixed income. For instance, if I had a job where I made $5,000 a month and I couldn't make more than that from that job, and I was one of, and that was my only thing, I'd be worried about the money I was spending. That's why I refuse to live life that way. Simply because I, again, cannot stand worrying about spending money. It drives me nuts. But also, yes, a mindset thing, and I also think it is a self-esteem thing. I think people think that they don't deserve it, and it is a shame. They don't think that they deserve to make more money than they do. And I think it stems from not holding promises to themselves. They've had this idea that they've wanted to do something and they never followed through. So they don't trust themselves. And I wouldn't trust them either, So it's hard to break out of that cycle of saying, I'm going to do this and then never following through. It's hard to do anything after that.
How in the world does that happen? How does that happen to somebody where they get in the mindset that they're worth $5,000 a month?
I think from not holding promises to themselves. If you called me to come do blank task and I said, yep, I'm on my way, and I never showed up, right? The next day, you wouldn't trust me, right? And so the same thing happens to people. People say, I'm going to do this, and then it never happens. And so why would they continue to trust themselves? And not being able to trust yourself lowers your self-esteem drastically.
Wow. I mean, that's crazy. The amount of people out there that are making $5,000 a month is it's a ridiculous number. Do you know how many people do you know that are making less than $5,000, Nick?
A lot. And it's not that they're bad people, but I think they're selling themselves short.
100%. I'm like, why don't you just go start a business and start you could start a bracelet company and come out with $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like a bow tie company for dogs. Imagine a little bow tie company, like a Disney bow tie company that you got for your dog. How much would people pay for that? $25 a bow?
Right.
Go do that for a half a year. See how much you make.
Yeah. And if you do the math, things make sense. And what I mean by that is if you provide people enough value, you will be compensated for it. I don't care what you're doing, whether you're shoveling 1 million driveways or you're mowing lawns. If you do things at volume, it will work.
100%. So let's dive into this, and we'll go into the last question here. You ready? How do you convince somebody? How do you sell somebody to leave their 9-to-5 job to become an entrepreneur, a business owner, or a content creator? What advice would you give them?
First of all, they would have to want to do it. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, and that's okay. It's not for everyone. If you wanted to be an entrepreneur, I would say you have to be ready to work without getting paid. And when I say that, I don't mean going to someone and saying, I will work for free for you. That is not what I mean. What I mean is you have to set everything up, and I'm not a business plan guy, but have some type of strategy, formulate an offer, and expect to not get paid for quite some time. And then it is an exponential rise. I hate how people say you can't get rich quick, because I did, okay? It did not take long. And it doesn't look like this, very slow. It looks like this, and then it's like this, right? And then it goes back down, it is not linear. So I would say to them, just put yourself in the shoes of your client, customer, whoever it is, and provide them as much value as possible. And in turn, you will be rewarded.
Damn. That's insightful. Tyler, what do you think?
Thank you.
That's true, man. I mean, to relate to that, I mean, again, we talked about this. I'm a young motherfucker. I've started a few businesses. They've given me some money. I've failed a lot and I've learned a lot, and I'm just starting to get into my sort of niche and what I want to become an expert on, right? And I found myself, I'm in college, right? And I had a job on the weekends. That takes up so much time. And so when I wanted to start getting into this marketing company, I had to make a decision. And I literally, as soon as I made it, walked out of my bartending job, quit that day, and I have never been able to work harder and put more hours into my business than currently. And I've seen so much growth just in the concept and finding clients for the first time and really figuring out what I want to do. Time is extremely important, and you're obviously not going to get paid for something, but it all goes down to sacrifice. How much are you willing to sacrifice for your business and what you want to do?
100%. Delayed gratification.
Yeah, exactly. Delayed. That's exactly what it is. I think it comes down to sacrifice, and the more you sacrifice, the more you'll get out of it. I do think.
Interesting. Do we have any questions from the people? Bring out all your questions. This is where we handle the questions from the people. I love this segment. It's my favorite.
Okay, here's one right here.
Hit me.
Hi, Nick. I saw one of your videos. You mentioned that if your girl cheats on you, you will be okay. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is I will not be happy. I will not continue to date them. I will not continue to date my girlfriend, but I will be able to go on with my life. My life is not dependent on someone doing right or wrong to me, right? So if I put my life in the hands of other people, no matter who it is, I will always be disappointed. And I would rather disappoint myself than have someone disappoint me.
Damn. Tyler, you got any crazy comments?
I'm looking through my DMs right now, dude. One of them, where are you located? That's all they put. Another one, I have a lot of spam accounts asking to be my sugar mama.
I got one. You ready?
Yeah.
I'm 19. I'm from India. I'm 19 and I've been learning a lot of things like SMM, Forex, crypto, and others. But again, if you could help me or just give me an idea or a tip to get started for financial freedom, I am ready to do whatever it takes. And again, my question would be, can you help me out with that? My answer would be, learn a skill that no one can ever take away from you. Learn something that can never go away. If you learn sales, if you learn marketing, if you learn negotiation, if you learn these things, no one can ever take it away from you. They can steal your Bitcoin. They can take your money. They can take your house. They can take everything. The only thing they can't take is the knowledge and skills you possess. That's what I would say.
Yeah, love it. And I would also say stay away from Forex.
I don't even know what Forex is, but stay away from it.
Yeah.
I don't have no idea what that is. Tyler, do you know what that is?
Well, what is?
Forex.
It's basically, Forex is, it's like, you get all these DMs of people saying, give me 20 grand and I'll turn it into 40 grand. And they lose all your money and then keep 3 grand of it. That's basically what happens.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
And the last thing I would say, if you are trying to earn passive income, you better have a very solid earned income before that happens. You will never start out by making passive income. I hate to break it to anyone that thinks that.
I completely agree. I think people are so worried about passive when they forget about active.
Why don't we stop worrying about passive income and worry about making a dime first?
Right.
Let's end it there.
Hey, man, we covered a lot of stuff on this podcast.
Shit. We should be charging for this.
Hey, Nick,
That's
Nick,
right.
have you ever got to see any of our other videos that we've posted on the podcast?
No, I see all the clips, though, but I haven't watched an actual podcast. I will, though.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, dude. Do you have any advice for us, or how do you think of the content so far?
I like it, dude. I like the clips. I'm gonna see the other stuff. But dude, as long as you're providing value, bro, that's it. You know.
Good deal. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching today. We are the Young and Hungry Entrepreneurs for success, wealth, money. Tune in next week. We will put our link in the bio. Nick, you got to send me your information. We'll link you below. Go follow Nick. He's unreal. All right. Have a great night. Stay smooth.
Peace out,
Good
guys.
deal.
Socials in the bio. Check them out to see us on our other platforms.
Good deal.